Nick Wright. What's y'all thoughts about him? Word on the street, Skip Bayless said he do not want to work with him. Every time I watch him and Chris Broussard, they have a great flow. I like him. His takes is crazy like everybody. Some is completely right. Some is completely wrong. He's petty, how I like. Cool brother, right? I wanted him to join Skip on Undisputed, but you know the components nowadays, you got to have black and white. You got to have black person, you got to have a white person when they talk about touchy race situations and issues. Both of them wouldn't be able to really dive into it. So that's like the dynamic to get the algorithm. You got to have black and white. So white on white won't work. So this article, it came out, would be nice if I had a picture. Let's just do desktop. That's not desktop. Here we go. So NBA Central says Skip Bayless refused to work with Nick Wright. Per whoever this brother is, we're about to look him up. Skip Bayless doesn't want to work with Nick Wright. Answer to source. Skip doesn't want to work with anybody that would make him look bad, and Nick would disembowel him on air. So many people is always talking about and saying that if it's not Skip way, it's not going down. It's not popping. So let's see. Here's QX. Okay, questions asked by some insider at Fox Sports. And lately, every single article or thing's been coming out been true. So we're just going to say this 100% true because everything that come out always been true the last, few months. Why is real Skip Bayless is only looking outside for Shannon Sharp's replacement when there's debate talent inside of Fox? So let's talk about that. He's really doing that because it's like my boy said yesterday. It's like going to a different team. Everybody at ESPN get fired. It's just getting hired at Fox, and people that getting fired at Fox is getting hired at ESPN. It's just dumb. It's like a quick swap they got going on. And internal FS1 criticism of Skip Bayless new make us wonder if they'll watch the show. I think people are going to still watch it. So we get back to Nick Wright. Whenever I watch him on First Take, it was always a good vibe. It was never nothing too crazy.
You didn't have to do that for us.
Oh, come on.
We're joined by Nick Wright. Nick, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Shannon, Joy, Skip.
I've never seen you so dressed up. You didn't have to do that for us.
Oh, come on. I try to dress the
Just
part.
like the big time?
He wanted to be the second best.
So they always had like good vibes. I seen this one guy ask him what's his thoughts about Skip.
Why doesn't Nick criticize Skip Bayless's take?
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
No, Tom might say that.
Once I see a bad one, I will.
Wow. 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 You just lost all credibility there.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
So every take he has on LeBron is a great take?
Well, listen, I have so much media to do. I do my own show. I do
Blah,
the
blah,
podcast.
blah,
I obviously
blah,
listen
blah,
to you.
blah.
I can't consume everything.
I guess he is saying he agreed with Skip too much. So for everything I'm seeing, wouldn't be no problem. So here go the article. Nick would disembowel him on the air. Skip Bayless reported won't work with Nick Wright because he doesn't want to look bad on his job. With Shannon Sharp departure from Fox Sports 1 Undisputed Sports Debate Show, lead host Skip Bayless is reportedly turning to a rotation roster, right? And Lil Wayne, so-and-so, whoever wrote this a little while. What we here to celebrate Scary Low Scrappy of Nick Wright, his Fox Sports colleague, who is light years better than him, than his job, than Skip have ever been. So whoever is writing this sound like Nick Wright is writing this himself. Because whoever this is been drinking a Nick Wright juice, the Kool-Aid, and they are all the way on this. So this seemed like a very biased article, if you ask me. Skip, you are 71 years old and you're still getting all petty, threatened, and paranoid at this point in your career. Whenever I've written about Skip before, it's always been fun to bash on him. See, there are bias. now almost, and okay, we ain't about to read this because they're biased, but we just going to get my take and my opinion. Too many people who work inside of ESPN, Fox, that's been colleagues with Skip, Marcellus Wiley always talks about it. He says, if it's not Skip way, it's the highway. Everything, he's the godfather of the debates. If Skip don't like it, it's not riding. And you see at this point, he took Stephen A from nobody to number one. He took Shannon Sharp from nobody to number one. And now he really gets to just handpick who he wants. And for some reason, he just probably don't like Nick Wright. Now, I don't think Nick Wright would just destroy him or whatever it is. I just think their chemistry, their flow don't really merge together because Nick Wright is petty. It's like Skip and Nick Wright will remind me of Stephen A. and Max Kellerman. They just didn't mesh, and too many issues. Max will be more logical and more common sense, and Stephen A would be too far left. And that's when you had Terrell Owens and people coming on the show was like, man, Max is more black than you, because on racial issues and black issues, Max will just keep it 100 and say what it is, and Stephen A would tiptoe around. And it made him, that type of dynamic. And I think it will be the exact same thing. What's your thoughts? Let me know if y'all believe it will work, not work. Would you like to see him on there? Hit subscribe button, leave a comment that help push out the algorithm and video to the world.